Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're venturing into a story etched in childhood memory for so many, The Wizard of Oz. But the source material you've shared with us suggests there's a hidden landscape within this seemingly innocent world, one filled with surprising and, frankly, unsettling connections.
That's right. While The Wizard of Oz often feels like a straightforward tale, self-discovery, the journey home.
Yeah, the classic stuff.
Exactly. But your source proposes a far more intricate interpretation. It weaves in threads of occult symbolism, alleged Illuminati rituals, and the really disturbing concept of monarch mind control.
Okay, let's get into this. Our mission in this deep dive, and we're guided entirely by the material you sent, is to explore these assertions.
Right.
We're looking at the claimed links between, well, a beloved book and occult practices, a classic movie, and purported Illuminati ceremonies.
And even the book series and this chilling idea of monarch programming.
So, yeah, prepare for a journey that might just illuminate some unexpected corners of Oz.
It's probably important to set the stage with a point the source makes right at the beginning about the nature of deception itself. It suggests that people involved in programming or handling individuals, well, they operate under a principle of absolute deception. They're willing to say anything and maintain those falsehoods for potentially a very long time.
Which immediately raises a fascinating, maybe unsettling possibility,
Yes.
right? Could something so deeply embedded in our culture, like The Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
be more than just a story? Could it be, I don't know, a long-standing piece of influential fiction with a hidden purpose, subtly shaping perceptions for reasons we never considered?
That's the question it raises. So turning to the first book, the source identifies some pretty striking parallels with occultism.
How so?
One of the initial claims is about the title itself, Oz. It suggests it's not just random, but a deliberate abbreviation for Osiris.
Osiris, the ancient Egyptian god.
That's the connection the source makes.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets, well, stranger. It links this alleged abbreviation to those mystery religions of ancient Egypt.
Right.
And their purported use of things like drugs and torture to create multiple personalities.
Wow. And that connects to monarch programming how?
Disturbingly, yes. It's connected to practices within monarch programming, allegedly involving something called the golden penis of Osiris.
Isis hid the chest in a remote and unfrequented place, but Typhon, hunting one night by the light of the moon, chanced upon it. Knowing its contents, and realizing Isis to be proficient in magic, he resolved to thwart her purposes, and tearing the body into 14 parts, he scattered them over Egypt. Now remember, 14 parts, folks, don't forget that. She finally recovered all of the parts of Osiris except the phallus, which had been thrown into the river and devoured by 3 fishes. Remember this also. Remember the 3 fishes, for they represent ignorance, superstition, and fear. They also represent the church, the state, and the mob.
So we're jumping from a kid's book title to that. That's quite a link the source is making.
It is. And expanding on this, the source highlights L. Frank Baum, the author. He was a member of the Theosophical Society.
Okay, that's a documented fact, right?
Yes. And the source presents this as a key piece of the puzzle. It argues the book wasn't just whimsical, but an intentional theosophical fairy tale, designed to embed certain ancient wisdom, maybe even insider Illuminati knowledge.
Didn't Baum himself say something about how he wrote it?
He did. He described it as pure inspiration, almost like taking dictation from a great author.
Huh. And didn't the Theosophical Society leader publish a journal called Lucifer?
That's also noted in the source, yeah. It builds the case for Baum's deep involvement in these occult ideas and maybe a deliberate intention behind the story.
So what about the characters? Does the source decode them too?
It attempts to. It suggests Anti-M represents H.P. Blavatsky's concept of Mula Prakriti.
Which is?
In Theosophy, it's like the fundamental root of all matter. And Uncle Henry is linked to the unmanifested logos, the sort of unexpressed divine ideal.
Even minor characters.
Apparently, the carnival huckster who becomes the wizard, he's allegedly connected to secret Satanist European royal families, these powerful occult bloodlines.
Okay. And the cyclone, the thing that starts it all.
The source points to the Greek origin of cyclone, meaning circle, or significantly, the coiling of a snake.
The serpent symbol. Common in occult stuff.
Exactly. So the suggestion is it's not just weather, it's a symbolic force carrying her to this other realm.
And her companions. Scarecrow, Tin Man, Lion.
Interpreted through that theosophical lens again, they supposedly represent the mental, emotional, and physical bodies in Theosophy.
Like aspects you gain upon incarnation.
That's the idea. Their acquisition mirrors gaining these aspects. The source even quotes Blavatsky on courage, purity, and intellect being key.
But the wizard turns out to be a fake, right? A humbug.
Right. And the source emphasizes that interpretation Dorothy and her friends had the power all along. They just needed guidance from the good witch of the South.
Which aligns with?
The source argues it aligns with Theosophical, Church of Satan, and other occult ideas about individual potential. Self-reliance.
Is there support for that?
The source quotes a Theosophical Society publication saying, the teacher can but point the way. Basically, power is within.
It does sound a bit like, ye shall be as gods, doesn't it? The source connects it back to Eden.
It makes that provocative connection, yes.
Mm.
That theme of self-reliance presented here in a beloved fairy tale.
This is where it gets kind of dark, though. The blurring of reality and fantasy.
Yes, the source discusses this as a significant element in Satanism, a tactic used in brainwashing children. And for Monarch victims, this deliberate confusion makes it incredibly hard to tell real from manufactured.
Didn't the source mention a board game? Illuminati something?
Yeah, the Illuminati board game. It highlights a weird quote from it. Don't believe any of this. It is all true.
Paradoxical.
Exactly. The source claims this kind of double-bind statement is typical of Satanist thinking and monarch programming techniques.
And the Theosophists like the Oz book for similar reasons.
The source claims the Theosophical Society president admired its theme that things aren't what they seem. This embrace of illusion, it argues, fits with Satanist practices and those double-bind statements in programming.
Okay, let's shift to the movie. The source finds links there, too, to Illuminati rituals.
It does. Starting surprisingly small with Dorothy's dog, Toto.
Toto, how?
The source suggests this connection might link to the satanic cult use of animal familiars. It even mentions Alfred I DuPont's dog, Mummy.
This seems like a stretch, maybe?
It acknowledges it might seem minor, but argues that in Satanism, even small details can hold symbolic weight.
Is there a darker side to the pet connection?
Yes. The source describes an alleged very disturbing practice in Monarch programming. Bonding children with pets, then killing the pets horribly, often in filmed abuse to traumatize the child.
That's awful.
Ah.
What about Professor Marvel?
His crystal ball. The source claims it's not just a prop, but connects to the priests of Isis, ancient Egyptian mystery religions, and modern Satanism, more weaving in of occult themes.
And the visuals. Black and white Kansas versus colorful Oz.
Interpreted symbolically. Downplaying reality, which is seen as drab in witchcraft and Satanism, while make-believe or drug-induced states are more colorful, more desirable escapes.
Than the witch's staffs.
Seen as significant, parallels drawn to staffs allegedly carried by priestesses in Satanism and the Illuminati, reflecting Gnostic ideas of good and evil magic.
The slippers are a big one, aren't they? Transferring power.
A key point for the source. It alleges this mirrors Illuminati rituals, where a matriarch, or mother of darkness, kills a leader symbolically a forehead strike with a special staff and takes their power by putting on their slippers.
Specific colors mean things.
Supposedly. Ruby slippers for matriarch-level authority, golden shoes for the higher mothers of darkness level.
What else from the movie? The witch using poison.
Noted as potentially mirroring real-life satanic coven practices. Apples, potions.
And the wizard, even though he's a humbug in the end.
seen as representing rulers in witchcraft, where wizards and witches can be interchangeable terms for leaders.
The winged monkeys are pretty creepy.
Interpreted as hearkening back to pagan animal idols and the Illuminati belief in tree spirits, the trees in the movie seem almost malevolent themselves.
What about the costumes? The veils and robes?
Connected to similar ritual attire, the source claims different colored linings indicate grades or levels in secret societies.
It mentions Doris Duke.
Yes, a disturbing alleged ritualistic death, her head served on a platter linked to birthright and heritage for deeper altars and high-level slaves.
Even scrolls have meaning.
The source notes scrolls appear in the movie and claims Mariah, a term used in this context, continues to use scrolls for official ritual functions.
The witch wanting to kill Dorothy delicately.
Seen as mirroring a calculated, detached attitude allegedly found within the Illuminati, and just the general presence of occult, stuck crystal balls, haunted castles, magic, the wizard figure reinforces the connection for the source.
Even lines of dialogue. The lion believing in spooks.
Given a modern twist, yeah. Spooks also being slang for intelligence agents.
And the whole quest proving themselves worthy.
Likened to occult initiation rituals. Participants undergoing tests. The source also mentions the phrase seeds of learning, supposedly used in Illuminati ceremonies, and the staffs potentially symbolizing tools used in rituals, maybe even stun guns for memory erasure. Now, let's shift focus again, this time to the parallels the source draws between the book series and Monarch programming. This is where it gets really detailed and quite intense.
Okay, lay it out for us.
The source basically posits that Wizard of Oz programming is foundational, installed really young.
The ultimate goal of satanic Mickey Mouse programming is to facilitate Oz programming, which we have not yet discussed in detail. But in brief, and to oversimplify, Oz programming is designed to take us into the modern age without the need for Christianity. Once we have embraced Lucifer's plans for our modernity, the next phase is to prepare us for Armageddon, and lastly for the satanic version of a one-world government, Zion Utopia, Emerald City.
That we should have a world government, but only when the Messiah arrives.
Mr. President, can I share with them about what the rabbi gave to you? I think it's special. Since you're Jewish, you understand.
I love you, Christians. I'm not Christian.
The Messiah is coming. So the head rabbi was reigning in Israel. They took the president, Donald Trump, his name, and they came out to the same lettering as the Messiah.
Perhaps it is no accident that the numeric value of Donald Trump in Hebrew is the same as Messiah, son of David, Mashiach ben David, 424.
Any attempt to achieve world order before that time must be the work of the devil. Well, join me. I'm glad to sit here at the right hand of Satan.
In short, all Illuminati infiltrated organizations have the end goal of turning this planet openly over to Lucifer and crowning him openly as the king of the world at Old Jerusalem. They want to do this because they believe the mythology they are taught. It is important to understand that these do not see themselves as evil, but merely more highly illuminated.
So young that some slaves allegedly know parts of the script verbatim.
And the over-the-rainbow part.
Interpreted as a powerful analogy, Dorothy wanting to escape trouble. It's seen as altars escaping pain by going over the rainbow.
Like through the looking glass in Alice in Wonderland programming.
Exactly, the parallel the source draws, a common symbolic language, it claims.
You mentioned jewels earlier. Diamonds, rubies, emeralds.
Yes, the source claims these are bona fide signals, recognition codes, diamonds for presidential models, rubies for prostitution programming, the Oz track, emeralds for drug business programming, rings too, supposedly signifying activity and occult rank.
And follow the yellow brick road. Seems like a simple instruction.
Given a sinister twist, it's interpreted as a deep command for obedience to the master's path, no matter the fear.
Note the changes to the MGM version of the song.
Follow the rainbow over the stream. Follow a fellow who follows a dream. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road.
Who is the fellow that we are to follow? It's the ambassador of the king of the Sea of Death, the one who has the dream. These lyrics were not a part of the Oz movie by MGM, so why was it added here by Disney? Obviously, the message is to follow Walt.
Applied to real life how?
To track stars following their lane, or even a runway for altars to symbolically fly off and exit their internal world. The yellow brick road is also said to relate directly to tasks assigned to altars. The story itself implants this directive. Follow the yellow brick road.
Even the poppy field means something.
Yeah, the need for an access code to get through it supposedly highlights the importance of color codes for triggering specific altars.
And fiddler?
Presented as a key code word signifying the programmer, often followed by go over the rainbow and instructions to ingest music, script, or a letter, all code for receiving orders.
The source gets really specific with book excerpts, right?
Extremely
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
specific. It analyzes passages from the 1900 edition, highlighting phrases in all caps as programming cues. Things like key, she started on her journey several roads nearby, finding the one paved with yellow brick.
Leading to the Emerald City.
Right. Her silver shoes, the yellow roadbed being bright, and the birds sang sweet, being suddenly whisked away, set down in the midst of a strange land.
The Blue Munchkin Country. The 5 Little Fiddlers.
And the offering of delicious fruits and other good things to eat, interpreted as programs and scripts to internalize.
Wow. Even the Scarecrow thinking he has no brain.
Linked to programming altars to believe they're stupid, his line, "Some people without a brain can do a lot of talking," is specifically cited.
Emerald City itself.
Seen as a well-guarded internal place holding deeper Illuminati altars. Castles, too, used as mind imagery and demoniac placements.
Winged monkeys again?
Used in programming, the source claims to create a fear of constant surveillance like spy satellites in the mine.
Flowers, poppies especially.
Highly significant. Them putting Dorothy and the lion to sleep is likened to opium and cocaine used on monarch slaves. Altars become trancy in these mental poppy fields. Dorothy's quick sleepiness mirrors this, and waking up with snow is linked to cocaine use.
Click your heels together.
Seen as a movie line and a programming cue, especially for military models, the source even connects the click to the Nazi salute.
Silence.
Both a movie command and, allegedly, an Oz programming command. A deep, no-talk code.
How slaves address masters is also mentioned.
Yeah, like Dorothy's polite, "If you please, sir," and using Oz material for triggers. Magic shoes, I'll get her, my pretty examples, linked to Kathy O'Brien's reported experiences.
Tin Man programming.
Said to produce a well-oiled machine slave. It references Senator Alan Simpson's chilling quote about empty shells. Even phrases like "troubles melt" appear in both the movie and alleged programming.
The source also pulls stuff just from the books, not the movie.
Loads of it. Dorothy picking up the Scarecrow and laughing is interpreted as teaching altars, "It's okay, it doesn't matter. Nothing wrong here," when facing internal weirdness.
Rats in the straw.
Seen as hidden controlling parts of the mind, mice controlling the clock, hiding from a front altar, Scarecrow.
Fewer fruit trees.
Linked to punishment beatings by symbolic dwarf munchkins for accessing forbidden programs, fruit. And home, Kansas, described as gray, contrasting the colorful internal world.
There's more. The Scarecrow's short life.
Heart of a script read to a new altar, supposedly. Him leading Dorothy to leave for sleep, linked to an Illuminati ceremony script.
The Tin Woodman losing his limbs.
Interpreted as a symbolic script for an Illuminati ceremony, maybe involving a blood oath to Green about protecting the programming. Him losing his heart and love for the Munchkin girl is seen as part of that same script.
The wizard giving them what they wanted.
Likened to the master programmer, giving altars what they desire, including returning to their internal reality. The yellow brick road through beautiful country with fruit trees is also noted.
Okay, moving into Book 3, Ozma of Oz. What points does the source pull from there?
Dorothy commanding the wind is seen as protective programming. Sleeping in a coop corner, training for trancing in corners. The hen liking 13 eggs. A trigger for 13-way personality splits during torture, with 13 being significant in alleged Illuminati system grids.
Descriptions of landscapes?
Water, sand, hills, trees with no people seen as cues for building internal worlds like Atlantis, Troy, forests, hiding invisible altars.
The hen eating live things.
Disturbingly interpreted as encouragement for cannibalism.
Golden teas again. Singing trees.
The key encourages that imagery. Singing trees, letter in the sand chapter, potentially resonates due to Druid beliefs. A tree with paper lunchboxes is seen as programs, stems linking programming stories, silver shoes flying, cues for altered states.
Colorful garments. Wheelers.
Embroidered garments of many colors, linked to color programming with ribbons. Wheelers threatening Dorothy for picking lunchboxes. A warning not to touch programs with armies guarding internal programming. A crack in rocks. A door for Petra programming.
The Copper Clockwork Man.
Linked to robot building programming, the directions for thinking, speaking, walking are supposedly used to build Dr. Green's boxes and internal robots. His hoarse voice signifies understood programming.
Food descriptions.
Highly detailed list from a dinner pail turkey, tongue, lobster salad, etc., seen as front programming, making alters see programs only as fruit. The lunchbox trees belonging to the royal family of Ev links to the Gnome King as ruler of demon system, reinforcing scripts with overlapping stories and the programmer appearing as hidden, powerful alters.
TikTok the Machine.
His line, "I am only a machine," teaches mechanical dissociation Tin Man programming.
Princess Langwidere.
Her changing personalities, recognized by a ruby key, resembles MPDDAD. Her mirrored room, mirror programming. Her 30 heads, convenient for programming many alters. Her switching heads, locking away the fiery one, number 17. Programming for switching and layering demonic imps.
The Colonel saying to hear is to obey.
Clear obedience programming.
Ozma herself.
Her crown scepter, with O and Z in diamonds, guards as kittens thinking they're fierce cats. She's seen as the Illuminati Queen Mother figure. The green carpet rolling up keeps altars in place, away from deadly psychic desert sands. Dorothy winding TikTok, activating programming.
The Hungry Tiger wanting fat babies.
Interpreted as programming for deeper cat altars and teaching cannibalism, sometimes filmed for mind control.
The Gnome King.
Ruler of the underground world, Hell Pit. Dwarfs mining jewels, programs. Heat sensitivity. Mentions of diamonds, rubies, emeralds, silver, gold, all programming codes.
4 pounding with a hammer.
Creates headaches to protect programming. Thor and imps appear when programming is threatened. TikTok saying not to command the Gnome King reinforces hierarchy. TikTok touching colored objects and saying Ev, codes for switching altars tied to colors. Yellow daisies, purple kitten. Wow, that's a lot drawn from Oz. The source also brings in Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, briefly touches on it. The Queen believing impossible things fits with mind control, it suggests.
Specific chapters mentioned for sexual programming.
Which Dream did. And it's my own invention. Tweedledee and Tweedledum are linked to S&M programming, with thumb rotation as a hand signal, and falling down the tree as entering a deeper trance.
Lewis Carroll style seems relevant here too.
Definitely. His love of logical contradictions, inversions seen as fitting perfectly with Monarch programming techniques.
Examples.
Loads of them. Cats, bats, saying meaning reversals, mushroom sizes changing, girl puppy proportions flipping, anti-gravity wool, backward watches, black light projective planes, even EVIL being LIVE backwards is noted, and the looking glass world itself.
Full of reversals used in programming, the source claims. Hills as valleys, dry biscuits, quenching thirst, shouting messengers whispering, running to stay put, writing to nobody, seeing nobody. Left-right reversals too, asymmetry, mirror twins, tweedles, right foot in left shoe, corkscrews.
It gets more complex.
Extensions like walking backward, traveling wrong way, one to come, one to go. Messengers living backward, cake handed out then sliced. Odd-even numbers linked to left-right or on-off states, like jam every other day.
So going through the looking glass is
Entering an upside-down, backward world. Like antimatter, the source suggests. The ending, the confusion over whose dream it was, paralleled with the slave's confusion between real and unreal.
the breaking free process.
Described as bewildering confusion between internal and external worlds. Lies feeling more real than truth. Life like parallel dreams. The source mentions another book, too, The Tall Book of Make-Believe.
Right, from 1950. A poem, page 14, Sugar Plum Tree, with sleep, 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 seen as a hypnotic trigger.
And a picture of a flat child.
Page 16, 17. Interpreted as a script for making slave ribbons. Rosa, the flat person on page 23, is seen as a ribbon altar, and a large cricket creature as the programmer, specifically Mengele.
Any other poems?
Foreign Lands on page 67. Sky's blue looking glass, entering fairyland where playthings come alive, seen as a hypnotic image of escaping into fantasy.
The overall point being,
Using innocent stories to confuse kids, giving ordinary words hidden meanings, like a village of liver and onions having a picnic, meaning something specific and dark in programming. Okay, shifting gears significantly now, the forest talks about alien programming scripts.
yeah, this is a whole other layer. It claims this uses novels, movies, VR, high-tech methods. It presents 3 personal anecdotes. Persons 1, 2, 3.
What do they involve?
Alleged alien abductions, but with links to CIA Area 51, internal alien voices, reported homosexual activity, photographic memory, an alien god, best friend in naval intelligence, family Illuminati ties, and a tendency for these individuals to prefer talking about aliens over monarch mind control.
So the source sees overlaps.
Big time. It highlights similarities between these alien accounts and human mind control. Abductions by intelligence agencies using bright lights like saucers, men in black figures, shadows in the mind, examining tables, medical gear, even occult symbols on alien suits.
Physical sensations, too.
Restraints, shocks, energy pulses, information transfer, tracking implants, all mentioned in both contexts.
Psychological features.
Suicidal feelings, headaches, sleep problems, nightmares, obsessive thoughts, fear of hypnosis, feeling trapped. Paranoia common to both groups, the source claims. Also, drug use, thought transfers, painful procedures, and language paralleling SRA messages, just with aliens instead of Satan.
Cattle mutilations. Forced pregnancies.
Mentioned in connection with alleged alien abductions, a recurring theme of an impending Holocaust is also noted.
And victims knowing each other.
Yeah, similar to how Illuminati mind control victims sometimes know each other. Amnesia is common, hidden in altered states, plus fear of hypnosis. The source mentions Boert's charts comparing SRA and alien abduction victims, showing significant overlap.
So are they aliens or demons?
The source raises the possibility that non-benevolent aliens could be demons, citing tapes of aliens with demonic voices claiming long-term presence.
Where are these supposed aliens from?
4-star groups are commonly cited: Pleiades, Sirius, Orion, Zeta Reticuli. The source also suggests the elite have human-built saucers, and the media links aliens and UFOs deliberately.
The conclusion drawn.
That most, maybe all, alien abductions are likely NWO mind control, using an alien theme instead of SRA, possibly based on the secret Iron Mountain report.
Different methods, though.
Allegedly no blood rituals in alien programming due to high-tech harmonic machines. Random targeting for alien abductions versus ritual dates for Illuminati victims.
And society's reaction.
Treating both UFO alien believers and SRA believers as nuts helps protect abusers, the source argues. The Illuminati's magic goal via alien programming is supposedly achieving spiritual paths through outer time. Another book mentioned is Island of the Blue Dolphins. What's the connection there?
Relatively brief. It focuses on the idea of everyday names versus magical names, and the danger of revealing the magical one, like Chief Orlov's death.
How does that relate?
Connected to monarch slaves having public names and secret access code names, themes like staying in line with ancestors and the four winds are also noted as fitting programming concepts.
Then there's the Lesser Key of Solomon Goetia. This sounds important according to the source.
Extremely. Called one of the most important scripts for Illuminati programmers.
Yeah.
Mengele, Wheeler, Cameron, Mueller, allegedly knowledgeable about it, required study beyond initial levels.
Interesting point about belief shifting from demons to aliens.
Right. Declining belief in demons while fascination with aliens, ghosts, etc. grows. These are secretly considered covers for demons by those high in demonology, the source claims.
It quotes the Goetia.
Yes, about the objective reality of magical phenomena and illusions being as real as facts, evidence of some cause. Reality is perception based on brain changes.
So magic is willed, caused by ceremonial magic operations. This becomes a strong reality for slaves because programmers work hard on the 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Examples given for sight. Programmed multiples allegedly develop beyond normal visual and auditory acuity.
And the Goetia spirits themselves.
Quoted as being portions of the human brain. Their seals are methods to stimulate or regulate these functions. Names of God are vibrations for brain control, general, specific, rank-type, individual spirit name. Perfumes aid via smell. Kabbalistic formulas help spell names correctly. So you invoke demons for specific skills. That's the idea. Invoking demonic energy to enhance functions. Example given. Invoking Simiris for logic. Typhon and Choronzon are called essential demons for building multiples invoked early. Choronzon apparently appears as a gray alien and was conjured by Sir John Dee historically.
Transagothian magic.
To reach Transagothian space, Universe B, very secret. Ancient Sirius cult rituals mentioned for this. Sirius B, Ra Horquit, and Sirius A, Egyptian devil, are differentiated. The source contrasts belief in democracy versus dismissal of voodoo or demons.
Yeah, highlighting how programmers allegedly rely on psychologists' ignorance or dismissal of these occult beliefs, while people readily accept other myths like democracy.
He criticizes Boert and some Christians.
Boert for dismissing demons. Christians doing deliverances for allegedly not freeing people from mind control itself. It points out the conflict between ministers and psychologists, the need for simultaneous liberation of body, mind, spirit, and how programmers exploit the separation of therapies. Calls for a team approach and humility.
Okay, let's talk about covers for individual slaves. How does the source say this works?
It's about providing good covers to allow freedom, while masking the slave's true nature, considering spending, associations, locations, hobbies.
Examples.
Alleged true-life ones: middle-class housewife programmer, deaf-dumb computer programmer, international spy with multiple ID swigs, seemingly dumb blonde who's highly trained. They're used in groups, as agent provocateurs, yeah. In neo-Nazi groups, patriot groups. Clean agents have no intelligence record. Legend is the term for elaborate cover histories with documents. Notional means fictional entities used to undermine real organizations.
And infiltration.
Heavy infiltration claimed in the therapeutic community. Half the therapists in the author's area allegedly program multiples. Helplines, Christian groups compromised, anecdote about an Illuminati mayor setting up a drug hotline to kill competition, war on drugs as a cover.
For intelligence agency drug trafficking, yeah. Controlled media reports of CIA smuggling cited. Schools, churches, Big Brothers, Boy Scouts used for abuse programming with backup amnesia. Abuse in religious settings.
Altar boys. Catholic orphanages used by priests linked to trauma-based mind control. Historical use by Illuminati parents sending boys to military schools with Catholic cooperation.
Media's role.
Establishment of media propaganda aids abusers. Britain's D-Notice mentioned for info control. U.S. has similar, less official system. The incredulous factor makes wild abuse claims less believable, like a child punished for saying, "Mickey Mouse hurt me." McMartin preschool case cited as a cover-up despite 800 witnesses. Abusers wearing mask costumes. Mickey Mouse example again. So these covers lead into the idea of religious fronts.
Exactly. Religious fronts, national security military fronts, entertainment fields, country western, rock, Hollywood, named as major covers for monarch programming, abuse, and the drug trade. Historical examples: Jesuits, assassins. Current alleged examples: Jay-Z Night, CUT Church, Scientology, Charismatic Movement, Jim Jones, David Koresh, Billy Ray Moore's Lord's Chapel, a non-denominational Pentecostal church, Satanists, overseas missionary groups, CIA mind control.
The lone assassin idea.
Called a centuries-old cover for occult hierarchy assassinations. Gnostic philosophy of balancing good-bad deeds necessitates religious fronts for good deeds. Subtle destruction of Christian doctrines while seeming to build them up. Consolidation of churches, NCC, Billy Graham Crusades, Promise Keepers. Infiltrating Christianity seen as easy, a soft target. This brings us to the specific section on Billy Graham. This is presented as a major example.
Yes, titled The Deception of Billy Graham, a Mind Control Front. It mentions his 1992 Embrace America 2000 radio show promoting the NWO and an alleged 1987 McCall's quote about salvation through paganism.
And links to Satanism within churches.
Quotes Dr. Loretta Fox saying most survivors report Satan as parents in high church positions pastors. Explains that seemingly perfect sermons don't rule out involvement due to programmed multiples.
Lack of training and public knowledge.
Police lack Satanism training. No public advanced Illuminati studies 401. Expert witnesses are often ex-Illuminati Satanists. Mentions the 100-plus deaths linked to JFK knowledge, Mars crossfire. Sensitivity due to preparations for a false Christian Christ.
Who are the witnesses cited?
Credible ones listed? No names for safety.
Yeah.
CFR member, NSA person, CIA admin, current ex-Satanists, ex-New Age leaders, ex-Mason, Christians working with Graham, therapist, Sacramento Crusade security, Alice Bramer, Gene Dixon's secretary. Emphasizes independent validation from separated witnesses. Addressing reliability concerns.
Assures intel on Graham arose during other Illuminati research from detached witnesses with nothing to gain. Discusses clarifying proof, hidden info, use of terms like almost certainly. Urges readers to suspend judgment, study, pray, discern. What about Masonic connections? Casual comments.
Masons casually mentioning Graham's membership, seen as valuable but unreliable due to oaths to lie, Duncan's book cited. Suggests deposing staff. Emphasizes unreliability of encyclopedic knowledge for occult matters, importance of eyewitness testimony over rare paper trails. Differentiates prearranged casual evidence, Mason casually mentioning Graham example. Much of the author's evidence is casual, from years investigating. Difficulty of proper hearing due to limited experiences.
Specific policies of the Crusade staff.
Highlighted as deceptive. Sending converts, even new believers, to Catholic churches, despite concerns from Richard Bennett, ex-priest, and the author about NW Monarch allegiance. Ian Paisley's criticism of staff dishonesty mentioned.
Funding sources.
William Randolph Hearst, Illuminati, pagan, financed early crusades. Stu Pack, Stuart title, ruthless family, friends with Graham Bush, provided funds. Van Dyne Illuminati family helped financially. Alleged funneling via checks to Gene Dixon's office, picked up by Graham's staff. Dixon's secretary trying to expose this, having a letter from Graham calling Dixon a woman of God. Dixon sold crystal balls with snakes. The 1952 Paris dinner incident with prostitutes, Friday's bio, mentioned.
Other connections. Pat Boone.
Boone, possibly Jewish, pro-Israel, saying at crusades, linked to CIA's Nugan Bank scandal. Daughter Debbie Boone's hit song, written by alleged Lucifer worshiper. Graham's emphasis on including liberals Catholic priests, avoiding unregistered Christians in Moscow, preferring KGB-linked Orthodox leaders. Biblical warnings about false prophets quoted, Matthew, Luke, Acts.
What about the Portland Coven meetings?
Christian acceptance of 1993 meetings discussing benefits from Graham Crusade, including Monarch program deactivation, religious fronts hiding crime, Graham, alleged program multiple, managing Monarch kittens, adeptly handling drug money laundering via crusades, using shifting teams of slaves.
Mormon links.
Mormon bishop warehouses allegedly used for cocaine storage, Monarch slave involvement. Mormon patriarchs using hypnostriggers during patriarchal blessings.
Graham as a messenger.
Allegedly delivered messages for Illuminati to presidents, Bush Desert Storm, Pope Kim Jong-un. 3 books listed documenting his activities. Bundy, Wilson Bob Jones, Strober.
Policies on church choice. Pope praise.
1955-56 policy sending attendees to Church of Choice, Catholic, Protestant, Jewish. Graham praising Pope John Paul II. Sat Evening Post, 1980. Conservative Christian dissatisfaction noted, Bob Jones, quote, on compromise.
The 1993 summary of Graham's beliefs.
Presented as shocking to mainline Christians, deviating from Scripture, sending people to Catholic, Jewish, New Age churches, emphasizing decisions over discipleship, crusades mainly attended by Christians, trivial decisions, smoking, negative impact on local churches, crusade counselor instructions forbidding proselytizing quoted, private assurances to Jewish leaders against conversion, Strober confirms, Messianic Jewish groups strongly pro-Graham, some returning to Judaism.
The 33-degree Mason claim again.
Stated that even if not provable, his actions should warn Christians. Casual evidence from Seance and Mason cited. Intentional secrecy around key figures' membership, Graham, Russell, Mormon prophets, lack of certificate but written testimony. Jim Shaw, X33 Degrees Mason, writing about Graham and his initiation, censored. Dr. Murray initially confirming, then retracting scene file, and House of Temple. Christian news article about Scottish Rite having a Graham file.
Mason's on his staff.
Key ones listed. William Watson, David McConnell, Arthur Mallory claimed Graham helped set up other 33 Degrees Masons in ministry, endorsed apostates. Oral Roberts, 33 Degrees Mason, helped by Graham. Witnessed in Esra Mind Control ORU as programming center, prayer tower. Basketball team slaves, healing swindles. Calling crusade staff insufficient. Extensive control of Christian media seminaries by Mason's Illuminati, diagram mentioned.
The final conclusion on Graham.
That he directly works for the satanic hierarchy, true evaluation on Judgment Day, Matthew 7.222223, quote. Okay, that's a heavy section. The source then moves on to the Amish as a front.
Yes, the top secret Amish front and Hutterites. Author claims firsthand experience as Amish church member, visits to settlements. Alleges Illuminati slaves, programmers, infiltrated Mennonite churches. Old Order Amish Mennonites used as major intelligence front due to pacifism, hiding programmed assassins.
Switching children, Nazi bloodlines.
Alleged switching of Illuminati Amish babies for bloodlines. Impregnation of Amish women in cults by Illuminati. Hidden Nazi bloodlines post-WWII. Mennonite some Amish adopting many kids. Amish in several states allegedly selling children, Esper twins to Illuminati, midwives involved, kids used in porn, no birth certs. No birth control abortion, some parents possibly selling kids to ease burden, farm mechanization reducing need for large families, secret witchcraft within the Amish, claimed existence of such a group, spiritual dynamics discussed, 2 trees, life versus knowledge or religion, legalism losing fellowship, clinging to tradition, forbidding Bible study revelation like child altar, legalism leading to license, same tree, split communities, gruffies, jamborees. Lancaster bishops' meetings for peace via compromise looking away, peace above truth. Ministers call for unity, Van Marini sin, pervasive secrecy, conformity over understanding.
Legalism values robotic obedience. Bishop quoted, not wanting youth to understand. Source concludes, Amish are perfect setting cover for monarch mind control. Secretive group, history of persecution, teaching silent suffering aids, abuser infiltration. Historical torture killing in Europe, lie of safety in New World. Shutting out outsiders, silence on problems, assuming outsiders uninterested. Divisions, Tvitrak lack of heritage knowledge due to isolation and intellectualism, always done this way. Indirect communication, avoiding negatives, pat answers. Early leaders ex-priests, but mostly peasants with little schooling Bible knowledge from witchcraft areas. Spirit of witchcraft remains. Brausch, folk witchcraft kept secret by old men.
Other influences, Rosicrucians, Jesuits.
Rosicrucians moved next door in PA, later joined Mennonites, bringing Hermetic magic, corrupt families undercover for Jesuits, long ago spies, generational Satanists practicing pedophilia within Amish, Catholic Church's alleged goal to destroy Amish, Hitler's 1938 arrest cited. Pre-WWII, Nazi Illuminati sending program multiples to upstate NY for Hitler cult, still operating second, third gen. Illuminati mission to hide Hitler's bloodline among Amish, also Orwapa. Lancaster as Mother Church, but satanic covens include Amish Mennonite brethren. Lancaster Fellowships, widely despite divisions, maintains communion, yet has immoral Amish, hidden by secrecy. Tax SS exemption, Amish schools, rigid secrecy noted.
So the NWO hiding assassins among pacifists.
That's the core claim. Safest place, most pacifist group Amish. Monarch slaves created from Amish children. WWII Amish codes in mental hospitals. List names, locations. Seen as Illuminati foothold via anxious to please boys. WWI torture killing of Mennonite Hutterite codes mentioned.
Post-WWII involvement, Vietnam.
Amish boys in Army's OSRD until the 746 for experiments. Dangerous nature implied. Vietnam War, Amish IW service, COs, at mental regular hospitals, 2 years, programming suspected, 1 suicide noted. Secret satanic Amish families offering kids led to large-scale CI intelligence, Delta teams within Amish. Assassins expendable, no outside connection records, many siblings. More mental hospitals listed, MO, CO, IN, NJ, PA. Hundreds in IW service, many suspected mind control sites. Columbia MO complex known. Contact via cutouts, secret contacts blockchain. Sterile telephones for untraceable comms, activated Amish boys pro-assassins, wet off's blood, debriefing, hypnosis, polygraph, scopolamine, ironing out inconsistencies, memory guilt blocked by programmer, blind memorandum praising altars for service, memory flashes common, wide geographic distribution, travel excuses, mitigating factors, butchering, no fear of blood, farm life, death, familiarity, no embalming, owned cemeteries, satanic cults, reopening graves, stole, family mentioned, Joseph's book on breaking will, privacy of Amish life noted. The source then discusses general programming concepts like deflection.
Yeah, taking something good, loyalty, obedience, and redirecting it to a false authority. Redirecting truth's power, renaming movements Christian while serving Lucifer. Deflecting Jesus worship to a demon named Jesus.
Boxes within boxes.
Central structuring, internal compartments, jack-in-box clown altars for unapproved thoughts, hiding important things out front, stupid altar with maps, asexual hiding sexual altar.
Secret access triggers.
Physical triggers accompanying verbal codes, needles, shocks, slaps.
Disguise items and assistant.
Eternal constructs hiding. Clockmaker alters demons disguising clocks as gold items.
Smiling suicide altars.
Suicide altars masking intent with Smiles Clown personas.
Occult hiding method.
Boxes within boxes like Masonic rites.
Common items with special meanings.
Everyday items given meanings. Radio songs with code words. Programmers no hits. Program lyrics. TV, sermons, hand signals, Bill Clinton inauguration satanic hand signal as hypnotic induction example.
A warning about ignoring the truth.
Caution against denial, dismissing as doomsdayer stuff, urges awareness, not burying heads in sand. And finally, esoteric language, using words differently.
Yes, language understood by occult elite, misunderstood by masses. Prime example given, Saturn. Saturn. Why Saturn?
Consistent importance for Illuminati upper occult levels. Defines astronomical Saturn first, then Saturnian Gnostic teachings. Severity, merging with Jupiter. Mildness for New Golden Age. Earth in battle, solar logos versus Saturnian sphere. Trans-Saturnian planets belonging to Alcyone, Pleiades. Darkness containing light. Darkness needed for light. Light appears via demiurge Saturnus logos.
Exotic links. Albert Pike.
Pike's teaching about the sun perfecting man contrasted with Christian view, deification as Satan's lie. Secret high-level teachings. Grandmaster Scepter represents authority via Saturn, lord of this world. New Age leaders call Saturn Sanat Kumara, still a devil, source claims.
There's a specific dialogue mentioned, Mother of Darkness.
Yes, outlining an occult view of Saturn. Gateway to open, God's winking for illumination, excessive light destroys, destiny is loving regeneration balance, Mother Gaia, Saturn as other eye of God. Chemosh cleansing fire Molech. Urge to sacrifice others as liberation leading to light wisdom life. Sacred cycle. Earth regenerates when Molech's eye opens.
Explains the Gnostic force, Lucifer versus Satan.
Force, evil good. Satanists, Mariah, equate Lucifer, good side, and Satan, evil side. Levels of occult teaching people wanting good follow Lucifer, not Satan. Satan provides esoteric worship for everything, rocks, stars, etc., leading back to him. 5 serpent concepts listed: Lucifer, light-bearer godhood; search for light wisdom; sun worship, sun god energy; fire kundalini, regenerative phallic sex principle; high-level Illuminati gathering in Atlanta, 96 Olympics, for rituals to materialize demons; for a world dictator mention. Using Saturn is an example of Satanism operating under layers of deception. Many Christian words also have occult meanings. Morningstar Church example.
So, to bring it all together, based entirely on the source material you provided, this deep dive has explored the startling claims that The Wizard of Oz is far more than a simple children's tale.
Right. The source asserts these significant connections: the book and occultism, the movie and alleged Illuminati rituals, the whole series, and Monarch mind control programming.
And it's vital to remember, as you said, this entire exploration is rooted in the interpretations and assertions found specifically within the source you shared with us.
Exactly. These are specific claims offering a very different and, yeah, potentially unsettling perspective on something so familiar.
It certainly gives you a lot to think about, doesn't it? If a story as seemingly innocent and beloved as Oz can be interpreted this way, as having such complex, potentially manipulative hidden layers, it really prompts us to consider other cultural touchstones we encounter.
Indeed. And that raises a significant question for you, the listener, to ponder. Given the assertions presented in this source, how might other seemingly innocent stories or symbols be utilized to convey deeper, perhaps even manipulative messages?
Something to think about. We encourage you to continue exploring these ideas and maybe critically examine the media and narratives you encounter in your own life.